Angel San Juan is live in Port Arthur with tonight's top story. Angel, what can you tell us?
Hi, Sheldra. Well, things are back to normal here on 61st Street in Port Acres, but things were far from normal earlier today, and that's when a man by the name of Walter Moore actually took his 2-year-old niece hostage in that house that you see right there. This is the closest we've been to this house all day because police had us quite far, but this is the house, the one with the American flag, and as you can see, there are still people coming in and out earlier. Actually, that might be a resident of the house because all the police officers left just a few minutes ago, but around 6:30 this morning, officers got a call about a disturbance here. When they got here, 28-year-old Walter Moore decided to barricade himself inside with his 2-year-old niece. This is actually the house of his parents, and the niece was in the custody of those parents. Now, he had numerous firearms in here, as well as what they think to be possible homemade bombs. So the ATF and Houston police were here to make sure everything was clear. They had bizarre negotiations. At one point, he traded in a shotgun for a shotgun, he wanted cigarettes, and then later on he traded something else for chicken for his niece and for himself. As far as we know, we don't know what they had to give him to get the niece, because at around 2:30, he released the 2-year-old girl. Police officers will not tell us what they gave him, but they did say they gave him something he wanted, and they got something they wanted really bad, and that was the little girl, and she was safe. Now, about an hour and a half later, just before our 4 o'clock show, he decided to come out, and I asked Police Chief Mark Blanton why he came out, how did they get him to come out, and he said once the girl was out, he knew the next step was that the officers were going to go in there, get gas into there, and he was fearful of that, so he surrendered peacefully. He has been taken to the Jefferson County Jail. Now, I did ask the police chief what made him do all this. What was the standoff about? And the police chief says he has a drug problem, and a lot of the neighbors here believe that's what he wanted all day, and some neighbors believe that's what he asked police officers for in exchange for the little girl. Of course, police are not confirming that at this point. The main thing is things are back to normal. No one was hurt, none of the officers nor the people involved as far as the neighbors and the little girl and himself. He will be charged with kidnapping and deadly assault on a police officer.
We've all heard about government pork spending, but in Port Arthur it seems the council prefers brisket, gumbo, and hot wings. Those are just some of the catered meals ordered for the council meetings. Fox 4 obtained the invoices on how much was spent on food for 6 meetings this year. When you total them all up, they come out to more than $1,500. So you would think if there's going to be food served at a city council meeting, it would be for those actively involved. That's the mayor, 8 council members, the city manager, city attorney, and city secretary. That's 12 people. So why do most of the invoices show orders for 30 people? Talk about plenty of leftovers. And these aren't sack lunches either. We already mentioned the brisket, which also came with rice, corn, salad, and peach cobbler. That order alone cost the city $350. A catered gumbo meal was $275, and this is really going to make your stomach turn. 30 chicken breast sandwich box lunches with french fries, almost $210. Now here's some food for thought. The city leaders enjoying these big meals have still not taken a bite out of Port Arthur's 16% unemployment rate. They're also the same ones who just last week were upset that some city purchases were being made outside Port Arthur.
I'm just wondering why we don't have local vendors.
Well, this next fact might make them eat their words. Turns out one of the catering companies they use is Mouton's, which is in Beaumont, not Port Arthur. Oh, and by the way, Mouton's charges PA a $35 traveling fee for each order. It's a new day for the First Baptist Church of Coons. In April 2008, fire destroyed the church. The congregation has since rebuilt, and there's new leadership. Michael Knight became the pastor in June. And now that the building is repaired, Pastor Knight is trying to fix the church's reputation.
We would like for the good people of Southeast Texas to know that we are profoundly sorry about these developments. We are embarrassed.
Pastor Knight is seeking redemption for something that neither he nor the church members are to blame. The storm of controversy that they face originated out of another storm. Hurricane Rita.
The good people of Hardin County suffered a tremendous loss with trees through houses, trees down all over their area, and especially businesses received tremendous amounts of damage. This money was to go to help them, not to go help a select few political officials and their political friends.
Philip Klein is a Fox 4 political commentator and publisher of the Southeast Texas Political Review. In a 10-part series on his website, he's exposing a huge conspiracy that he claims involves many high-ranking Southeast Texas officials.
We're talking about $15 million of your taxpayer dollars.
Klein is referring to federal dollars set aside to help the victims of Hurricane Rita rebuild their homes. The federal government routed that money through the Southeast Texas Regional Planning Commission, which in turn got the money to the Hardin County Disaster Recovery Alliance. That nonprofit alliance was supposed to distribute the money to hurricane victims. Apparently, that did not always happen.
It was for simple things like water rot. It was for things like wear and tear, old carpet. None of this was damaged. This is just a remodeling of a home through federal government funds.
Klein has audits of the Hardin County Disaster Recovery Alliance. Those audits show poor financial record keeping. They also show that some of those managing the funds admitted to misappropriating the money for personal use. And an investigation by Southeast Texas Regional Planning itself revealed that money was paid out for work that was never done.
I have a feeling if I was an elected official here in Southeast Texas and I had my finger in the pie, I wouldn't be sleeping real good at night right now.
So where does the First Baptist Church in Kuntz come in? Well, that's where the office for the Hardin County Disaster Recovery Alliance was located, and where all its records were stored.
Once they found out that there was going to be an investigation or people began to ask questions about the funds, the church caught fire.
Federal investigators have ruled the church fire arson, and it remains under investigation. The former church pastor, who was also the executive director of the Hardin County Disaster Recovery Alliance, Tony Thornton, is no longer with the church, and Pastor Knight wants to make that clear.
It is just our heart's desire to let people know that this is not about our church. It's about allegations made regarding former church staff. And our church is, again, disappointed to learn of any connection that would be ours to these allegations.
And he's open to the investigation continuing.
We are thankful for the wonderful coverage that Mr. Klein has given to this.
And Klein says he's not through. He says he has 10,000 documents in his possession that will shed even more light on what seems to be a very dark plot.
We're just scratching the surface, Angel. This is just beginning.
We found Tony Thornton at County Seat Supply in Kuntz. It's a store owned by his wife. Although he did not want to go on camera, he spoke to us quite candidly. We've had a tough time tracking him down, but Thornton says he hasn't been hiding because he says he has done nothing wrong. But these documents present a different picture. The more than 500 pages include audits showing that the group Thornton manages has misappropriated public funds. That group is the Hardin County Disaster Recovery Alliance, a nonprofit set up after Hurricane Rita to help rebuild damaged homes. It received $5 million from the government to help hurricane victims. The audit reports say that Thornton admitted to spending some of the group's funds for personal use. But he told us he borrowed the money and has paid it back. He also claims the money he used was not federal dollars, but came from private donations. At the time of Hurricane Rita, Thornton was the pastor of First Baptist Church of Kuntz. It burned in 2008, and federal authorities say the fire was arson. Thornton left the church a few weeks later. There have been allegations that records from the Recovery Alliance were inside because the group's office was in the church. Not true, says Thornton. He says the office was actually in the courthouse annex. He also says he had announced his resignation as pastor months before the fire. Still, there are hurricane victims like Jerry Coward who tell us the former pastor scammed him. He says Thornton promised repairs to his home that were never done. He also claims Thornton made him make a donation to his church.
I was thinking that maybe that $100 was helping another family or somebody, you know. So I didn't have no idea it was gangsters.
But Thornton says he never demanded a donation. He says that was just an option given, an option he says that only a couple of dozen hurricane victims agreed to. And so we come back to County Seat Supply, owned by Thornton's wife, where a lot of the supplies used for rebuilding were purchased. Thornton says that was perfectly legal since it was during a time of disaster, going out for bids wasn't necessary.
We come here and work, and why we can't get our money?
It was the nightmare before Christmas for employees at Renaissance Hospital Friday.
No checks till Tuesday.
They came here to get their paychecks but left with nothing. For months now, employees at this Groves Hospital have either not been getting their paychecks on payday or the checks they've received have not cleared. The situation's become a joke that these employees no longer find funny.
I'm mad as hell. My grandchildren, I ain't got food in my damn house. Nothing buy my children that. I got car note due. That don't make no sense. That lady doing us wrong, and I think that's wrong.
That lady that Pam Jackson's referring to is Eileen Wynn, who owns Renaissance with her husband. We went inside the hospital to talk to her on Friday. She was there, but instead of facing us, she sent this man.
Okay, well, does she have an explanation of why they're not getting paid?
I'm not here for a show.
No, I'm just wondering. Well,
I'm not here for any drama or TV ratings.
Well, we're not here for ratings either. I'm sure these employees are here to get paid right before Christmas.
And he's speaking for the owners, apparently for free.
Have you gotten paid?
No.
He did not get paid either, but we never found out who he is or what his duties are.
As I said, no comment.
Okay. And who are you?
And who are you?
I'm Angel San Juan with Channel 4. Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you, Angel.
And
She has no comment.
okay. Are you a spokesman for the hospital?
I was asked to tell you that.
He did make it clear, however, that we were not welcomed.
She said that she wishes that you would leave the property.
Okay. We can do that. We'll do that.
There have been employees who have been fired after speaking to us. That's why many are not as vocal as Pam Jackson was. But off camera, they've told us a lot, including the fact that the Wynns have been taking money out of employee paychecks for health insurance, yet the premiums have not been paid, so the employees have no coverage. As to what's happening to that money, we don't know. But we will be back on Tuesday to see if employees get paid.
I'm mad as hell. My grandchildren, I ain't got food in my damn house. Nothing buy my children that.
That was Sandra Boudreau on Friday after she learned she was not getting paid, and the Renaissance Hospital employee has yet to get her paycheck.
It's gone on the 5th day. I haven't received my check and I need to pay my bills.
While still upset today, Sandra was a lot calmer than she was last week. She was also less scared. You see, on Friday she gave us a fake name, but she's no longer hiding her true identity.
It's been going on too long. Enough is enough.
Sandra and a coworker went to the Groves Police Department to file theft of wages charges against the hospital owners, Eileen and Steve Wynn. This past pay period was the 6th straight pay period that employees have not gotten paid on time. They tell us that only the staff in the emergency room and in surgery received paychecks. Everyone else is still waiting. And what made this time worse was that it fell right before Christmas.
A lot of people that couldn't do Christmas for their kids, they had to take presents back because they didn't know if they were going to be able to pay for them because they don't know when they're getting paid.
Unlike Sandra, this employee did not want to give her name. She still fears for her livelihood.
I got 3 kids, I'm a single mom, and I cannot take care of those kids without a paycheck.
She's going to fire you anyhow, so it doesn't matter.
Sandra believes all their jobs are in jeopardy under the Wynns management.
She said if anyone talk to the media, they will be terminated.
But not only did these women talk to Fox 4 and the Port Arthur News today, they also talked to the police, not only telling them about not getting paid, but also about the Wynns taking money out of their checks for health insurance, but not paying the premiums. So the employees are not covered.
It's called stealing. It's real terrible because we need our insurance. I'm half sick now and I can't go to the doctor, I don't have no insurance.
Well, the assumption is if insurance is taken out of your check and then you find out later that the insurance has not been paid, is that theft or theft of services, and that's something that we have to investigate.
There are many more allegations against the Wynns, including claims by the former Human Resources Director, who says the Wynns are not paying payroll taxes. Employees also tell us that money has been taken out of 401k, but not deposited into their accounts. Groves Police told the 2 ladies that since the law about theft of wages is new, just passed this year in the state legislature, they're turning the case over to the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office for guidance. In the meantime, employees still don't know when they'll get paid. Angel San Juan, Fox 4 News.